how awful.
Good morning,
Good
podcasters.
morning. Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We basically live in a reality where even if our listeners are like 2 weeks or 1 week or whenever we record as opposed to whenever it's released, we just pretend you're in the reality with us currently.
Yeah.
So sorry that you're always in the future and we're always in the past.
Yeah, Back to the Future.
Yeah. We should probably get better at that. Just pretend like we're
With
in the
them.
present. We're with you.
In the present. But then it'll just be confusing.
Yeah, like right now it's
No, not the time to play with your springy toy.
Moosh. Like right now it's mid-September, right? Winky face.
Yeah. Winky face. That'd be cool if it was, because it'd be closer to October and you'd be done with the crappy schedule.
I mean, you know what? We're officially in spoopy season.
I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, according to... I didn't get the memo that spooky season started, like, now.
Yeah, like, we should probably decorate.
That I'll do it. I just, energy.
I guess I could have helped you to do that today.
Nah, it's a little too soon for me.
What?
It is a little too
That's,
soon.
like, shocking to hear from you.
I know. Like, I can start, like, watching this stuff and, like, engaging in this stuff, but walking into a fully Halloweened out apartment is a little much.
You know,
Dude, this is not the time.
Moosh,
He will ignore that thing every day, all hours of the day, but we press record. It's time to play with the thing that makes noise.
Moosh, you want attention? He was trying to play with the microphones, and we told him that you are not a podcaster. You don't speak, so
yeah,
that's an issue.
Well, he does speak, but we don't speak his language.
Yeah, he's foreign. He's from the land of the meow. So my coworkers have asked me some really fun questions this week, one of which I already told B about, which I kind of want to share with the class, which is one of my coworkers, Trenton, asked me yesterday, what is my favorite powers that be from like a TV show or a movie? I'd love for people to think about that, and if they want to let me know what their favorite powers that be are.
You have to explain what that is.
So like my example of my favorite powers that be from a show is like, it's basically like a secret thing that is revealed that like controls the universe of the story. Right. So like my favorite was Dharma Initiative from Lost. So any Lost fans out there know what I'm talking about. So that'd be really fun to ask. But
my favorite was the Cullens.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it's
the
Volturi.
The Volturi.
The Volturi is the powers that be from that show.
Fair.
Movie. Industry secret, a lot of people call movies shows when they're working on the movie.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Which is a
the
weird...
picture.
Yeah, they say like, oh yeah, I worked on that show when they're talking about Twilight or when they're talking about Lord of the Rings. Well, I guess that's a show now, but like...
That's confusing.
When they're talking about a movie that they worked on, they often say, in reference to the movie they worked on. Like, somebody I know is going to work on the new Hocus Pocus show. A.k.a. movie. But everybody calls it a show.
And they're filming it, in Rhode Island during the actual, like, spooky months?
When I say
Perfection.
I legasped.
I would legasp.
Okay. My other favorite question that one of my coworkers asked me this week that I want to ask you.
Oh, okay.
My friend Dazelle asked me, what do you think Jesus was like in bed?
I can't answer that question. My mom will literally, like, disown me.
Well, he made love. Didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah,
there are theories that Mary Magdalene was his lover.
Yeah.
But like that not all Christians would agree with that.
I see. He also asked and then
it doesn't go with their idea of, of policing virginity because Jesus did.
Oh, interesting.
So, moosh. What?
Moosh, no jingle jangles.
That thing has a bell?
We were today years old when we learned that toy has a bell. Come here, Moosh. Come over here. Do you want me to touch your head? Is this an HR issue? He also asked me a follow-up question, which was before and after resurrection. I literally was like, I have no idea how to answer this question, and I don't think I can.
I don't want to. Oh, God.
But it was very funny.
Literally. So, wait.
It was very funny that it was
I can't make that joke either. No, it's horrible.
Anyway. I apologize.
I hate you for asking that because I want to say all of my jokes.
I apologize to the Christians listening if that's blasphemous, but
also surprised you'd listen to us.
But it's also very funny.
It's a little.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
Like, I literally could not stop laughing when he just asked.
Just like question. Randomly asked that.
He literally walked into my office and was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "What?"
Left field, bro.
I love him.
Ah, man.
I'll keep him.
I know. I want to switch gears just to something serious, just very quickly.
Oh boy.
And then we'll get back into the goof.
Okay.
I know, like, we kind of keep. I mean, not necessarily keep our, like, I guess, political opinions off the podcast. It's very apparent where we stand.
Yeah.
But I think, with everything that just happened in Texas, just briefly saying, obviously, we are wholeheartedly against that.
Yeah, we are very pro.
I don't even have words for the audacity of the government to think they have any say over our bodies. But the second we, give suggestions on how to regulate men, forget it.
Yeah.
Justin Baldini, that sexy man, said, made a very, very fair point that he thinks, all teenage boys, once they hit sexuality, should be forced to get a reversible vasectomy.
I mean,
because they stop births, they stop pregnancies, and they're pretty easy, and they don't mess with a man's body the same way that would mess with a woman's.
Right. But here's the thing: I'm just as appalled at that as I am appalled at.
Right, but
idea.
I'm just
exactly.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's what you're telling us.
This is the equal.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent.
You're wanting to stop the consequence of the action and not the thing that causes the consequence.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just
right. Like,
men are never responsible for it, but a 14-year-old girl who gets raped would have to carry that pregnancy to term.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm reading about all these crazy situations where, I mean, it's like devastating situations.
Devastating.
That, like, imagine being sexually abused as a child and not really understanding that you could even be pregnant.
Right.
And then not having the option.
Because you're not even old enough to have had that conversation yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's, like, so many situations. Like, there's so many scenarios that are just... And even the most simple of scenarios where you're like, I'm not ready to have a kid.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I was like... And also, it doesn't have to be traumatic for you to get an abortion. It could just simply be, oh, I don't want to be a mom. Mm-hmm. Oops, let's take care of that. There are plenty of women out there who have had abortions just because they don't want to have a baby. They've been fully grown women. They've been women in relationships. They just don't want to.
Right, and here's the thing. You want women to stop having abortions, then give us proper health care.
Yeah.
Make sure that we have access to birth control, to
proper
contraception.
Sex education. Yeah.
There's, like, so many other solutions to your issue with abortions. Like, look, nobody wants to have an abortion.
You know what my favorite thing is?
But, like, people aren't like, you know what? Let me have sex so I can have an abortion.
Right.
Yeah,
that's not the end game for anybody.
That's what's crazy to me. Is like, no. We don't want to keep abortions because we want to have them.
Yeah.
We want to keep abortions because we want the rights to our bodies and the rights to a choice.
Right.
And unfortunate. It's like the worst backup plan in the world. Because it's like it's. But also
thank God
traumatic.
It's there because it saved lives.
Yeah. 100%.
Literally saved lives, and not just the mother's life, but also the baby's. Because there are times where that baby would be born into poverty, and it would just be the cycle of poverty.
Right, or it would be born unwell and unable to live a long life, or unable to live minutes, let alone seconds.
So I do find it really interesting that it's Texas doing this, while Texas currently holds the highest number of child deaths for COVID. Mm-hmm. It's like, because they don't care about them once they're born.
No. I mean, there's so many examples of they don't care about people once they're born.
Yeah. And that leads me into my other point, which I'm going to go Tanya doesn't have to join me on this if she doesn't want to, but I'm going to go very hard on the get vaccinated.
Yeah, get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated. Get vaccinated. You're an idiot. Get vaccinated. Unless you have a actual health reason to not get it, which is a very small percentage of us, you're the reason this isn't ending. You're the reason all of this is going on. Get vaccinated. You're an idiot. Don't take a freaking livestock medication unless you want to shit worms for 2 weeks. You're an idiot. Get vaccinated. Sorry.
Well, here, let me just be
devil's advocate. She loves
not
doing
even
that.
Devil's advocate, but sympathetic here.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to call people an idiot.
I would say 80% of them are, though.
Yes, I agree. Some people are misinformed.
Sure.
And
stubborn and not doing the work.
If you are somebody that's listening that happens to just be misinformed and not understand the full capacity of what it means to get vaccinated. I think a lot of people are afraid of side effects of vaccinations, which I think if that's what you're afraid of.
Look up the side effects of long COVID.
Well, just look up the odds. I mean, the math is all there. The chances of you dying from vaccination is zero. There have not been deaths.
Look, I'll be open with you guys. I had the worst side effects out of everybody I know who got the vaccine. My skin hurt. Sound hurt my skin. Right. Laying hurt my skin. Closing my eyes hurt my skin. I got a giant, like my lymph nodes under my armpit swole all the way into my right breast for like 2 weeks. Felt like my boob weighed 10 pounds. Scary. All went away. Totally fine.
I'm not even talking about those side effects.
No, I know, but I'm just like, they think it's going to lead to blood clots and like heart failure and all this. And I think another one is enlarged heart.
Yeah. And I mean, these kinds of things are like
1%.
Like not less than that, actually. 1%. It's like 0.1%. It is so small of a chance. It's like you have more of a chance of dying, like big time more of a chance of dying just walking down the street than you do from getting
driving
the COVID
your car,
vaccine.
Doing anything.
Yeah. But if you don't get vaccinated, the chance of you dying or infecting your loved ones and them dying is so much worse than if you were vaccinated.
Because here's the thing. They're using the my body, my choice, which is really funny, argument. And the thing is, it's not just your body. Because if you're choosing to not get vaccinated and you're going outside and going around other people, then you're saying my body, my choice, and I don't care if it affects other people's bodies, other people's lives. You could be infecting somebody who can't get vaccinated because of a health reason, and it could kill them. Your actions have consequences. So if you are choosing not to get the vaccine, stay inside. COVID's not over for you. Stay inside.
And I mean, on a personal note, like, it upsets me because there are people in my life that are not vaccinated that I cannot see and I won't see until they get vaccinated. And that's devastating to me.
Yeah, I have a few family members like that too, and I'm the same way. And they're going to be upset when I tell them no. But if they're expecting me to respect their decision, then they have to respect mine that I don't want to have gone through all this and gotten vaccinated and lived in a mask for 2 years just for them to get me infected because they're upset that I don't want to see them.
Right. And I mean, a part of it is simple as like, look, I'm not afraid of getting infected because if I were to be infected, the symptoms would be so much less than if I had not been vaccinated. However, my concern is I don't want to be locked inside for 2 weeks. I
can't afford to be locked inside.
I can't afford to be locked inside for 2 weeks. B, if I were to be exposed, it would be because I was out of town or visiting people, and I don't want that to ruin my experience that I've been waiting 2 years for.
Yeah.
There are plenty of reasons why I wouldn't feel comfortable being around an unvaccinated person as a vaccinated person.
And if I were to get it, even if it were mild, me having to stay home for 2 weeks or me possibly not knowing I have it and giving it to the 2 other people. I only work with 2 other people. Like, my business would have to shut down if I got sick. Yeah. It would have to shut down.
I also regularly see a child that is unvaccinated. Right. And my fear is bringing it to him. Right. So it's, the thing about the vaccine in itself and people refusing to get vaccinated is so, like, there's just so many different versions of why.
It's a lot of fear mongering. Like, it's a lot of being enmeshed in social media and reading what they think is facts. And it's literally just people spewing bullshit. Yeah. There's a great with Instagram. Confidence. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a great Instagram that I kind of want to shout out and offer people if they're looking for resources.
Okay, fine. I apologize for the idiot tangent. I think I win on that because the ones I know that are unvaccinated are conspiracy theorists and literal idiots. But I know that's not everybody.
Yeah. There is, the Instagram that I wanted to shout out is it's the word doctor spelled out, .Darien, Darien.
Oh, it's that sexy man, isn't it?
Yeah, he's really good looking.
Yeah, he's really good looking.
He's also attractive. So if you like,
so there's that.
Handsome people.
There's that.
But he was the one that tweeted, "What I find most revealing is how many of my unvaccinated patients who are now ill with COVID-19 continue to express hesitancy over the vaccine, but quickly accept experimental treatment.
Yeah.
Treatments that have limited data compared to the massive amount of information we've gained on the benefits of vaccines."
Yeah.
That went viral. Yeah. And then he kind of went viral after that. He's also, I think, the one that expressed how he had people on ventilators begging for the vaccine when it was too late.
Here's a good example. Yeah. Nobody gets polio anymore, right? My grandma did have polio, and she was disabled her entire life. It was painful for her to walk. She had to wear special shoes. She ended up in a wheelchair, all because she got polio, which nobody gets anymore.
Right.
So do you want to be that person who is on a ventilator and on oxygen later in life when you didn't have to be, from a very preventable thing, just because you didn't get an FDA-approved vaccine? It's FDA-approved now.
Yeah,
so
Pfizer's FDA-approved. Also,
and Moderna's on its way to FDA-approved.
Just a little bit of science for people. I don't think everyone understands that, because everyone's like, they rushed the vaccine. And to be frank, they did not. They had been developing this vaccine for the past 10 years. Because coronavirus as a virus existed, but it just wasn't the COVID-19 strain. So when the COVID-19 strain went apeshit, they were able to focus on what exactly they needed, and they were able to put in the funds to quote unquote rush or finish what they had already started for the past 10 years. So this vaccine has been in development for a long time. It's not rushed. It's a perfectly viable vaccine, just like all vaccinations. I mean, I take my flu shot every year and I'm fine.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, get vaccinated. Be responsible.
Please.
And I'm sorry you can't have it both ways. If you're refusing to get vaccinated, stay in the house. Mm-hmm. Stop seeing your friends. Vaccinated and unvaccinated, you're putting them at risk. Stay inside by yourself. Quarantine's not over for you. No. We'll do the work, and you can come out when there's herd immunity because you refuse to do it. So that's all.
But the thing is that there won't be herd immunity if you don't do it.
Right. So. Right. Because they'll stay inside and then they'll come outside and F up everybody's shiz.
This is going to be like this for a long time. If
it's going to keep mutating and keep getting worse and keep making the vaccine ineffective because of people who won't get vaccinated. Yeah. I say won't, not can't. Yes. Won't and can't. Different words. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. That was me and my pedestal. Now, I bet you at least 5 listeners hate me.
We got a lot of new listeners lately, so we'll take it with a grain of salt.
Interact with us, guys.
Who went first last time? Do you remember?
Me.
You did?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, great.
It's your turn to tell me about death and dying.
Okay, so my topic was celebrity death. And I am pretty... I don't want to say excited because it's pretty terrible.
I'm pretty excited.
I'm pretty...
Talk about this person's death.
Eager to tell you about this story.
Okay.
So let's go on a journey to the motherland.
The motherland?
Well, more west of the motherland. Oh. It's Vancouver!
Oh. I was like, Africa?
My motherland.
Your motherland.
Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Born as Dorothy Ruth Hoogstraten.
Hoogstraten?
On February 28th, 1960, to Simon and Nellie Hoogstraten.
Love the last name.
Who had emigrated from the Netherlands. At the age of 17, she scored a coveted job at her local Dairy Queen.
Nice.
Yeah. Where she met then 26-year-old Vancouver automobile and cycling show promoter, who also had a side hustle. A side hustle is a PIMP.
Oh.
Paul Snyder.
What you know about me?
I just really wanted to say PIMP.
I'm a mother FMPIMP.
Their romance, yes, I said romance between a 17 and a 26-year-old.
Pimp.
Their romance escalated quickly, and after a little while, Paul convinced Dorothy to take professional nude photos to send to Playboy magazine in the summer of 1978.
Oh boy.
Yeah. She was under 19, which is...
illegal.
Yeah, illegal, because 19 is the legal age of majority in British Columbia.
Okay.
AKA she was still a minor.
Got it.
So she had to convince her mom to sign the model release forms, which she did.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. In August 1978, she moved to Los Angeles, where she was chosen as a finalist for the 25th anniversary Great Playmate Hunt. Snyder joined her in October, and by June that following year, they were married. She shortened her last name to Stratton and graced Playboy's Miss August 1979 cover. So we're talking about Dorothy Stratton. Do you know who Dorothy Stratton is?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. She was officially a bunny working at the Playboy Club in Century City, California. Hugh Hefner had high hopes for Stratton and believed she could have crossover success as an actress. She was featured in episodes of Buck Rogers and Fantasy Island in 1979 and had small roles in Americathon, Skate Town, and the B-movie Autumn Born. Hefner was not a fan of Paul Snyder. Paul would often, go to the Playboy Mansion when Dorothy wasn't there and, hang out and just, be a creep.
Yeah, he thought he was in.
Yeah, he thought he was in because he brought Dorothy to them.
Right.
And look at me, I'm Dorothy's husband. Paul definitely weighed his worth as, a part of Dorothy.
Right. Like most men do when their women are successful.
Well, especially when they date a woman that fire.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well.
Yeah.
She's with me, so I must mean something special.
Yeah, and I have to make it known she's with me. Yeah.
Hefner thought he was a leech and called him a hustler and a pimp, which was very offensive to call somebody that.
Yeah.
Friends warned Stratton that Snyder was possessive and treated her like she was a penny to make. He acted as her chauffeur, her manager, her acting coach, and was constantly present, criticizing her and arguing with her daily. Stratton was under so much noticeable stress that her co-stars and fellow playmates couldn't help but notice. On March 22nd, 1980, Stratton flew to New York City to begin work on the film They All Laughed, directed by Peter Bogdanovich. She played the unhappily married love interest of John Ritter.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah. Bogdanovich, who also wrote the screenplay, said in an interview that he had based the backstory of Stratton's character on what he'd learned about her marriage to Snyder. Dorothy talked her husband out of joining her in New York as she knew his presence would cause more trouble for her, and her intentions of beginning an affair with Peter Bogdanovich was also a good incentive to keep Paul in Los Angeles. Dorothy and Peter...
Incentives.
Yes. Dorothy and Peter began their affair the day after she arrived in New York.
Girl.
She was like, I want that.
Get it.
She came back to LA briefly on April 30th, 1980, and accepted her position as the 1980 Playmate of the Year, and later that evening appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. The following day, Dorothy embarked on a 2-week promotional tour of Canada. She had no events scheduled those first few days, so she flew out to New York on a whim to surprise Peter. While in Canada, she wrote to Snyder that she wanted more freedom within their marriage. Upon receiving the letter, Paul called Dorothy and flew into a rage the minute she answered. On her last stretch, Dorothy was to stay in Vancouver for a few days to spend time with her family before heading back to New York to finish filming. But of course, being out of his sight for too long, Snyder flew to Vancouver to surprise her. He convinced her to make several appearances in Vancouver at nightclubs before leaving, instead of her intended purpose of just relaxing at home with family. So here we go again, him making $1 off of his wife.
Of course.
While in Vancouver, Dorothy and Paul had a heated fight where Dorothy eventually caved and said that she should give up her acting career and permanently move back to Canada so that they can work on things. But Paul refused. But of course, she was his ticket to fame and fortune, so naturally he was pissed.
Right.
Paul returned to Los Angeles and had trouble getting hold of Dorothy after she went back to New York. She wrote him a letter to say that they were now physically and financially separated.
Ooh.
Paul retaliated by emptying their joint accounts, having an affair with an ex-girlfriend. Go on, Paul, nobody cares.
Yeah, she literally doesn't care.
Yeah, and hiring a private detective to look into his suspicions on Dorothy and Peter's affair.
Mm-hmm.
Snyder was entirely reliant on Dorothy for her income. He also was entirely reliant on her to stay in the States because he didn't have a work visa, but Dorothy did.
So being married to her.
Yeah, kept him in Los Angeles and kept him financially afloat.
Right.
He really couldn't afford to pay this private investigator that he hired. So he started to sell her Playmate of the Year prizes at a loss for quick cash, including her Jaguar sports car that she was given.
Dang, you get a sports car?
Oh, you get so many things apparently. After filming completed, Dorothy went on a 10-day holiday with Peter to England and came to LA, claiming an address at a Beverly Hills apartment, but in actuality, she was living with Peter in his Bel Air mansion.
Moving on up.
Yeah. One night, I mean, to be fair, Peter Bogdanovich is like everything Paul Snider wished he could have been.
Right.
He wanted to be that, he wanted to be that guy. He just definitely was not.
No.
One night in late July, Snider hid in the bushes outside of Peter's mansion with a borrowed handgun, waiting to shoot anyone that appeared.
Oh,
he eventually left after several hours of inactivity. And he like returned this borrowed handgun to the person that owned it.
I love when the determined killer gets bored and leaves.
He's like,
this is boring.
Murder is boring.
Yeah.
On August 8th, 1980, Dorothy and Paul met up for the first time in 3 months at Snider's house. Dorothy told him she was in love with Peter and that she wanted to finalize their separation. Paul reluctantly agreed to meet up with Dorothy that following week to go over everything. On August 13th, 1980, after having to return the borrowed gun he lurked outside of Peter's home with, Snider purchased a 12-gauge pump-action shotgun.
Jesus.
From a private seller he found in a local classified ad. He told his friends about the purchase and said that he was, quote, going to take up hunting, end quote.
Why do they always have to, like, tell people about?
Guess what? I bought a gun. I'm going to go hunting. Like, what?
Yeah. What? In Los Angeles?
Yeah. August 14th, 1980, at approximately noon, Dorothy Stratton arrives at her former residence to meet with Snider. Snider's 2 roommates had left them alone in hopes that they would reconcile. When the roommates...
Beller Mansion, guy with roommates.
Yeah.
Don't think she's reconciling.
When the roommates got back around 8 p.m., they noticed Dorothy's car was still in the driveway, and Snider's bedroom door was closed, so they assumed that they had gotten back together and continued to leave them alone.
Yeah.
They got a call from Snider's private investigator urging them to check on Paul and Dorothy, because his private investigator was like, this guy is up to something.
Right.
So at 11 p.m., the roommates went into Paul's room and found them both dead by a single shot. They were both found nude, and according to investigation, Dorothy was shot approximately 1 hour after her arrival, and Paul committed suicide 1 hour after her murder.
Oh, he did stuff to her, didn't he?
Well, it was also determined that Snider had raped her before shooting her in the face.
That's unfortunate. It was before.
Yeah. Dorothy Stratton was cremated and buried at the Westwood Village Memorial Cemetery in Los Angeles, where Marilyn is buried.
Amber Hugh Hefner's buried.
Yeah. Just to go back to her murder, a lot of people were saying that, like, the way that Paul Snider, like, just violently murdered her was, like, A, raping her.
Yeah.
Just taking the thing that he, like, was trying to make a profit off of was her body, and then shooting her in the face.
Right.
So that her face was just unrecognizable is just, like, so evil. Like, I can't even wrap my head around it.
I mean, man, am I right?
And, like, everybody had said that Dorothy was the kind of person who just wanted to see the best in people, that she was just like an angel. Like, she was so sweet and so kind and so shy. Like, the whole, like, Playboy playmate thing was was really not her thing.
Right.
And she was kind of obviously pushed into doing this.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's not their thing.
She didn't want to take nude photos. She wasn't comfortable with it.
Right.
And of course that's what her appeal was like, oh, she's shy. She's the girl next. She was like pitched as the girl next door, you know, like.
Right.
Hugh Hefner was the one who called Peter Bogdanovich with the tragic news. Peter fell to the ground and needed to be sedated when he found out. Yeah.
Jesus.
1 year after her death, their film, They All Laughed, was that what it was? Yeah. They All Laughed, had a disappointing limited run. Peter desperately wanted the world to see Dorothy in her final role and her legacy to live on.
She was definitely a mega babe.
Yeah. He tanked $5 million, his entire net worth, in nationwide distribution to later declare bankruptcy in 1985. He lost his home in the process. He was able to have a book that he wrote about Dorothy released in her honor, titled The Killing of the Unicorn. It was part biography, part expose on their affair, and a scathing feminist attack on Hugh Hefner.
I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah, and the Playboy philosophy. He claims in his book that Hefner allegedly sexually assaulted a then 18-year-old Stratton in August 1978 at a secluded area of the mansion at the end of her first day of posing for that magazine.
Tracks.
He used the word seduced, in quotes, to describe the encounter, but the original manuscript says he raped her. The change was made in the published version due to a lawsuit threat by Hefner's lawyers, which Bogdanovich clearly could not afford.
No, you can't afford anything as Hefner. That's how he went as long as he did without all these lawsuits.
Right. 2 feature films were made to depict Dorothy's life and death. The first made-for-TV movie called Death of a Centerfold, starring Jamie Lee Curtis as Stratton.
Oh, wow.
And the second is a Bob Fosse film called Star 80, with Mariel Hemingway portraying Dorothy, which is interesting because Bogdanovich put a Hemingway quote on her
tombstone,
on her gravestone, yeah. And the daughter of Hemingway portrayed her in a movie.
Very interesting.
We were watching something the other day, and there was like a Hemingway quote at the beginning of the movie, and I was like, I had just like learned that it was like that quote.
The last letter to your lover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the quote at the beginning of the movie. I didn't, for some reason, didn't write it down, but
not a fan of the movie. Big fan of Kyum Turner.
Yes. A few songs were written in her honor by Bryan Adams. The Best Was Yet to Come, Cover Girl by Prism, Dead Meat by Bush, Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Really?
Yeah, it makes a few references in the lyrics. Quote, and little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And the other quote, firstborn unicorn, hardcore soft porn. That's about Dorothy.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's the sad story and death of Dorothy Stratton.
That's sad.
Yeah, I know. Sounded like they really had like huge hopes for what she could have been.
It's always that. And there's always a man who can't handle.
Yeah, and like Peter Bogdanovich was like, she was the love of my life. Like he took care of her family after she died, and like eventually married her sister.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which I've like kind of heard that happens a lot.
Yeah, it does, because it's like
you're the only one who knows my pain.
Right, so they like bond over it, but at the same time, weird flex, guys.
Also, kind of a weird flex, and not to shit on Peter Bogdanovich because he seemed genuinely in love with Dorothy Stratton.
Yeah,
but like, her sister was like 12. Not when he got with her, but like when Dorothy died. Like I don't know if that she was 12 for sure, but she was like really, really young.
Yeah, if you've met somebody prepubescent and you're an adult and then you marry them later in life, you're gross. I don't care. Either way, you're gross.
And he was already like, I think a good 20 years older than Dorothy.
No. The whole like, but we waited. No, you're gross.
It's a little weird. But you're anyway, gross. Not to shit on Peter Bogdanovich and his grief, because I'm sure it is
some Drake shit.
Terrible, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing with, just to bring up the Drake shit, but like the whole thing with Paul Snider is he had clearly started to groom Dorothy at the age of 17, and she felt like she was worthless without him. I mean, she felt like she owed him her entire life. Yeah. So I think that's a big part of why she stayed with him for so long, was she was like, well,
out of debt.
Yeah, you gave this life to me. Right. So like I thank you and I owe you. Right. But like Paul Snider was a total creep.
No, I mean, obviously. He sounds like it.
Total creep.
What a douche.
Total gross man.
Good burn.
Yeah, gross man.
Gross man.
So my sources were Wikipedia, an ABC News article called "The Horrific Murder of a Playboy Playmate" by Lauren Efron and Anthony Rivas, and I watched her 2020 special called "The Death of a Playmate." Oh. Yeah. I didn't watch Star 80, but I kind of want to.
Yeah. Is that the one with Jamie Lee? No.
No, the one with Hemingway's daughter.
Oh, okay.
That's like the more well-known one because it's a Bob Fosse film. Right. Bob Fosse was obviously a big guy, but big guy in the industry. Big guy.
Big guy.
But yeah, that's...
It sounds familiar. Like I'm sure I've probably heard about it or watched something with her in it. Yeah. With that like this tale of her death in it, or listened to a podcast, because it sounds familiar enough, but not like enough for it to be
we weren't alive when she died.
Right.
So,
right.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's the sad story of Dorothy Stratton.
Hugh Hefner needs to be like taken out of that wall and just like put someplace else.
I'm ready for people to come out about their experiences.
I mean, they have
more, but like,
towards the end of his life, it started to. But I mean, if you need proof positive that he was a creep, the man literally won't even let Marilyn Monroe rest in peace. He had to have the spot above her so he could be on top of her in death.
Yeah.
Like, gross.
Yeah.
You're gross. Yeah. That's all I need to know. You're gross.
Paul Snider also, random fun fact, he basically came up with the Chippendales idea. Like, he is the creator of Chippendales.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He, like, told...
So maybe some regressed homosexuality in there? Like...
I don't know. But he told Hefner about this idea that he had about, like, male strippers with, like, kind of the same idea as the Playmates with, like, little bow ties and, like, that whole look. And he was like, what do you mean male strippers at a gay bar? He's like, no, for women. He's like, male strippers for women. And they were like, okay, Paul. And then, like, he got it done, and it's now Chippendales. But, yeah.
Cool.
I guess random fun fact about Paul Snider.
You did that, Paul.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering where the origin of Chippendales was from. I wish the men had little bunny tails on their thongs.
I know you were really dying to know.
I really wanted to know.
You were like not losing sleep at night.
Now I need to know who came up with Thunder from Down Under.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, we are recording in the morning, so there's no wine to be had.
Yeah, there's no pause for wine.
But there is tea.
And what does your cup say?
My cup is a gift that my mom gave me, and it's a picture of a llama with heart balloons, and it says, la la love you. Yep. Which is really cute. But yeah, I'm having a little bit of a Yorkshire tea.
A Yorkshire tea?
With a little splish splosh.
Not a splish splosh.
Of oat milk.
Fancy, I'm sure. I'm having water that keeps interrupting things. There you go, you guys. That's our drink of choice.
That's it today.
Ay.
That's the pour.
Okay. Okay? You ready?
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm here. I got nowhere else to be.
I didn't get enough sleep. Anyway, I didn't fall asleep till like 4.
Well, by the way, we're both repping some Harry Styles merch today.
We are repping because Love on Tour started. Love on Tour started.
I got my Sign of the Times sweatshirt. And you've got your Treat People with Kindness hoodie on.
I do.
One of many.
One of many. So I had Dark Arts and Witchcraft.
Yes, which I'm super pumped about.
So,
tell me a tale.
Whenever women are deemed powerful, I don't know how to start things that I write. Okay, they're labeled throughout history as witches. While they may no longer be burned at the stake, it is still something marking women in the public eye even to this day. So, that being said, here's a list of celebrities who are accused of witchcraft and why.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh la 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 la.
So we'll start small. We start with Fairuza Balk, otherwise known as Nancy from The Craft.
Yes.
Has unshockingly been accused of witchcraft.
What do you mean?
Yeah. When doing research for the role, Fairuza happened upon the oldest occult shop in the country that happens to be in Los Angeles and would often go there to ask questions and do research.
Yeah.
The owner was elderly and couldn't sustain the shop any longer, and instead of allowing it to become a Chinese restaurant, Fairuza bought the shop. And that's it. That's why Hollywood deemed her a witch.
Because she bought
and she couldn't outrun the witch label because she bought an occult shop that she did her research for Nancy at. She's since sold the shop, but
still,
you don't see Fairuza Balk in anything, do you? This is a fun one.
Ridiculous.
Jennifer Lopez.
What?
Yes, that Jennifer Lopez. Yes.
I love this.
Okay, so while not directly accused of witchcraft, she has been accused of using a faith healer to perform Santeria, a form of religious mysticism to hex past lovers and people who do her wrong. Jennifer was said to have hired Meryl Gonzalez, who performs Caribbean Santeria, which is a version of voodoo involving animal sacrifice, chanting, trances, and rituals where the priests and priestesses, of which Gonzalez is one, give advice to their godchildren. The godchildren. Yeah. The psychic, who can reportedly go into a trance for up to 5 hours, which allows her to delve into people's past and predict the future, was rumored to have advised Jennifer to call off her September wedding to Ben Affleck. The couple publicly said they scrapped the planned nuptials due to intense media intrusion, but just hours before, J-Lo made the official statement, she had reportedly visited Gonzalez in a rundown Los Angeles suburb. The voodoo priestess is also believed to have told Jennifer to burn her $25,000 Vera Wang wedding dress to rid her of the demons that plagued her love life.
Oh my God.
She has been accused of asking Meryl to cast dark spells on people who have upset her. They also like think that she uses high priestesses to keep herself young.
Savage.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks good.
She does look good. Maybe
So
there is some dark arts in there.
Yeah, she's doing something right.
This one was a whole shocker for me, okay? Beyonce herself has been accused by her ex-drummer, Kimberly Thompson, who later filed a restraining order against her.
Against Beyonce?
Against Beyonce.
Okay.
Thompson alleges that Beyonce is practicing extreme witchcraft and magic spells of sexual molestation.
What?
To harass her. She doesn't elaborate what that means.
Okay.
Records show that Thompson had a request for a temporary restraining order denied by Los Angeles Superior Court, sorry. In an email to Pitchfork, Thompson confirmed that accuracy of the documents. All accusations I survived are real, she wrote. Thompson attributes to be the loss of many jobs, theft of homes, the murder of my pet kitten, magic spells on my lovers, and numerous broken relationships. So she's just blaming Beyonce for her bad luck, basically.
It sounds like you're blaming Beyonce for your own personal issues that you don't want to blame yourself for.
Yeah. She also alleges Beyonce has been tapping her phones and controlling her finances.
Oh, my goodness.
Some people are quick to believe this due to the fact they also believe Beyonce and Jay-Z have been feeding into Illuminati theories. So the video for Ape Shit, for example, was filmed in the Louvre, which is ground zero for Illuminati theorists, thanks to the Da Vinci Code, and that is shaped like a pyramid.
Yeah.
And stuffed full of occult symbolism, apparently Ape Shit is. Jay has been linked by online conspiracy enthusiasts to the secret society since the late 1990s, thanks in large part to the signature hand sign for Rock Nation, which involves holding both palms up in a triangle formation, believed to be a nod to the triangle symbol that represents the Illuminati.
Oh my God.
Beyonce's flashed the sign during her 2013 Super Bowl performance. Single Ladies has drawn particular interest from theorists, with some claiming that messages can be heard when the song is played in reverse.
I love this so much. Oh, good God.
Okay. The deep internet links Beyonce's rise to fame with R&B singer Aaliyah's 2001 death.
What?
Conspiracists claim Aaliyah was meant to be the rightful queen of the music industry, but after her death, Beyonce stepped in to take her place. Like, as in, like, Beyonce summoned Aaliyah's death so she could take her place.
Oh, good God.
And Blue Ivy's name. The acronym for Born Living Under Evil Illuminati's Very Youngest.
What?
That's what they think Blue Ivy stands for. Born Living Under Evil Illuminati's Very Youngest.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
This is a stretch.
Yep. So now they're coming for Blue Ivy. Beyonce never commented on the lawsuit, but in her video for information, she dismissed the rumors with a categorical, y'all haters corny with that Illuminati mess. So
I literally was thinking that.
Yeah.
I was like, doesn't she talk about...
Yeah, y'all haters corny. Have you not heard about the Beyonce Illuminati stuff?
No.
Oh my God, there's
crazy.
so many like YouTube videos dissecting so much shit, like finding triangles, like if she's got her hand on her hip, there's a triangle. And like, it's just, oh God, it's so stupid. I can't even, it's,
oh my God.
People are bored.
Yeah.
These are the same people that like are into like QAnon and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one. It's a Finnish actress, Malia Nurmi, may have been better known by her alter ego of Vampira during the 1950s. But despite the aesthetic of her character, the rumors that had circulated about her had less to do with sucking blood and more to do with casting hexes. Already a disruptive and rebellious female figure to 1950s ideals, Vampira's gothic and lurid image of sex and death was all many Americans needed to link her to the dark arts, the occult, and witchcraft that took down a promising Hollywood their heartthrob. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if you are not entirely familiar with Vampira, she was and remains a powerful example of mid-century female sexual rebellion. Through her late-night variety-style show, Dig Me Later, Vampira, she overtly mocked the role of the submissive mid-century housewife with unapologetic eroticism. Many blamed Vampira's supposed witchcraft for the untimely death of James Dean. So in 1954, Vampira began hosting midnight showings of horror movies on Los Angeles local channel KABC as Vampira, becoming the first horror host in America. Later, the Elvira character was patterned after Vampira. A pre-famed Dean became a fan and friend and even briefly appeared on her program. There may have been some kind of a relationship, but Dean publicly said they never dated, supposedly telling gossip columnists Hedda Hopper that he doesn't date cartoons or witches, depending on who you ask. He either said, I don't date cartoons or I don't date witches. Oh. When Dean died in a car crash in 1955, the seedier tabloids of the day ran stories claiming that Vampira had hexed him out of her supposed unrequited love and caused the crash. Vampira's alleged infatuation with Dean led her to craft a handmade postcard meant as one of her macabre jokes that shows her sitting alone on a folding chair next to an open grave. The card read, "Darling, come and join me." The postcard was supposedly later snagged by journalists and printed in Whisper. You can Google the photo. I'll put it on Patreon too.
What?
Yeah, it's a weird thing to send to somebody. As a response to what she saw as self-destructive behaviors with car racing, Vampira purportedly built an altar to stop Dean from killing himself. A mutual friend and LA writer, Logan Smiley, claims to have witnessed the altar 7 months before Dean's death, although this is now believed to be bunk and part of the generated hype to pin Vampira as a sinister origin of the actor's death. Hopper ran stories of Vampira conjuring black magic and other occult and supernatural forces to curse Dean for his snide comments and unrequited love. Vampira became the queen of darkness, the literal blood-sucking vampire that stalked and damned America's fledgling golden boy to the grave. She did little to dispel these rumors. Vampira showed up uninvited at a Hollywood costume party dressed as a witch, complete with the obligatory pointy hat. Her unidentified date came as a bandaged James Dean.
Oh my God.
And there's pictures of that too. Indeed, playing with the rumors that she was a witch who could resurrect Dean from the grave, and also that she was the witch who put Dean in the grave. Vampira's career faltered after Dean's death, perhaps in part from the scandalous rumors surrounding her and Dean and her alleged occult ties, perhaps for entirely different reasons altogether. But
wow.
Yeah, she was interesting. I'll definitely post pictures of Vampira. Moving on. In February 2017, Lana Del Rey tweeted, "At the stroke of midnight, February 24th, March 26th, April 24th, May 23rd. Ingredients can be found online." Lana later admitted that she was instructing her fans to take place in a mass occult ritual to hex Donald Trump.
I'm down with this.
Yep, the dates refer to the timing of the waning crescent moon, which occult followers believe is a time to get rid of stress and negative energy. Asked about her love of the occult, Del Rey said, "I'm in line with Yoko Ono and John Lennon and the belief that there's a power to the vibration of a thought. Your thoughts are very powerful things, and they become words, and words become actions, and actions lead to physical charges. I really do believe that words are one of the last forms of magic, and I'm a bit of a mystic at heart." That's all about Lana Del Rey, but yeah. There's a whole other, I'm going to get to the last one, who is the obvious one, but there's a whole bunch of others, like Lorde was on a few of the lists because she said she's a bit of a witch. Or just like Patrick Swayze was on there because he like really believed in crystals.
Can I guess who the real
Go ahead.
Stevie Nicks.
It's Stevie Nicks.
Yes, our favorite.
So during the rise of her stardom, particularly after the release of their song Rhiannon, Nicks was plagued with accusations of being a witch.
Yes.
The notion gained so much traction that a fair number of people came to believe that Nicks had actually practiced witchcraft. Several of Nicks' songs, Rhiannon in particular, seem to indicate that she took her music and distinct fashion style a step or two further into the realm of magic. Yet Nicks never called herself a witch or claimed to dabble in the dark arts. During concerts, Nicks would introduce Rhiannon by saying, "This is a song about a witch." Details like these would make her early on-stage performances the stuff of legend. Rock critics at the time often described witnessing her speaking in archaic-sounding language and seemingly going into trances at concerts. Rock critics. So this was like in print. Yeah. Throughout these shows, an enormous yellow moon would appear as the backdrop.
Swoon.
Nicks' penchant for wearing Halloween-themed clothes began when she was just a little kid. Her early obsession with the holidays perfectly encapsulated by childhood anecdotes, such as when her mother, who worked as a seamstress, gave her a yellow Martha Washington costume that Nicks proceeded to dye black. But then, for the first time, the style and aura Nicks had adopted long ago became a little too dark. Fleetwood Mac's next album, Rumors, produced another slew of memorable songs, including Go Your Own Way, Gold Dust Woman, and Dreams. It was also during this period that Nicks endured the worst of the witch rumors' impact. According to Nicks, she was receiving mail that referenced witchcraft and was troubling enough for her to become afraid of, among other things, being kidnapped. Nicks told the LA Times in 2013, In the beginning of my career, the whole idea that some wacky, creepy people were writing, you're a witch, was so arresting. And there I am like, no, I'm not. I just wear black because it makes me look thinner, you idiots.
God.
Nix reacted to the situation by distancing herself from the style she had been honing since her childhood passion for Halloween. When asked what she thought about those who still believed the rumor, Nix said, I don't like it at all, and I wish people would stop thinking about that because I spent thousands of dollars on beautiful black clothes and had to stop wearing them for a long time because a lot of people scared me. A high school student in Huntsville, Alabama was prevented from singing Landslide as part of a baccalaureate program for graduating seniors at a Presbyterian church. According to the student, the minister said the leader of Fleetwood Mac is a witch and a Satan worshiper. Nix wasn't mentioned by name, but it was obvious who they were referring to. The singer released a statement saying, I can't believe people are still telling me I'm a witch because I wear black. And that's it.
I love her. She's so fire.
She is. We love Stevie so much.
Oh, man.
And I kind of love that she kind of embraced it as she got older and was played herself as a witch on American Horror Story Coven.
Oh, yeah. She knows.
Yeah.
She
baller.
knows. Well, because she knows that the people that love this tidbit about her, like, eat this up.
Yeah, and also, like, don't take it that seriously.
Yeah, we all eat it up. We love that. We love this witchy woman.
Yeah, but I was genuinely like, Jennifer? Beyonce? Like,
those are good ones.
It was so funny.
That's so good. I love that.
Okay, so my sources really quick. There's a bunch of them because there's a lot of people. Pitchfork.com article, Beyonce's ex-drummer files for restraining order alleging extreme witchcraft. Daily Beast article, this is why so many people seem to believe Beyonce is a witch.
Yep.
A female first article, JLo's makeup artist reveals voodoo rituals. Luna magazine article, Vampira, the witch that took down James Dean. A Billboard article, Lana Del Rey admits to hexing Trump. A Yahoo News article, Stevie Nicks' long history of witchcraft. And a Vogue.com article, 6 celebrities who have been accused of witchcraft.
Wow.
Ta-da.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It was a wild ride. And it wasn't what I originally picked. But when I was trying to do the research for what I originally picked, it would take weeks and weeks. So I was just like, all right, forget it.
Okay.
Forget it.
I love that. That was really fun.
Yeah, that one was more fun than what I had originally picked. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will think that was fun.
Yeah. Well, I did.
Do you have something wonderful to tell me about?
Yeah. I mean, I already told you it, but I'll say it again.
Yeah.
I finished my real estate classes.
Yeah, buddy.
Woo.
You did it.
Yep. So now I qualify forever to take the state exam. There's no time limit now.
Oh, good. So like when you're ready.
Yeah. So when I'm ready. Yeah, exactly. And I feel confident about it. I can take the state exam.
Are you able to take a bunch of practice tests?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So you can just see how you do.
Yeah. I pretty much bought like real estate exam for dummies.
Yeah. Oh, good.
And it comes with like online practice tests.
Oh, good. So then you can do some practice tests until you feel confident that you'll do well on the test.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think if you do it enough times and you get good enough scores on practice tests, I think you'll feel really good.
You only have to get, I think it's 70%.
Yeah.
Maybe it's less than that, actually. It might be 60. I don't remember. You only have to get like a C minus, I think, to pass. Obviously, I would like to do better than that.
Right.
But
oh, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, thanks.
That's great. You know what? You set your mind to something and you did it.
Yeah. Which I typically like give up right at the end.
No, that's awesome. That's a big accomplishment.
Thanks.
You know what? We're going to have wine tonight. We're going to celebrate.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Just, not like we wouldn't have had wine otherwise.
We would have had it anyway.
But we're going to do it with purpose tonight. It's going to be.
I mean, I wanted to get it done in 4 months. I got it done in 6. I'm not beating myself up about that. It takes you as long as it takes you.
Yeah.
I did have it. I had to get it done in 6 because my classes were going to expire this month. So. Yeah. But they're done. Yata. Okay.
But you did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter how long it took you or, how you got there. You know what? I was doing a Cody Rigsby course this morning.
Yeah.
And Cody Rigsby, if you know who he is, he's from Peloton. He said, it doesn't matter how you got here. The fact is that you're here and you're doing it.
Exactly.
Thanks, Cody.
I know. I've been trying really hard to like reframe negative thinking positively, and it's been working pretty well.
Good.
I guess. It's not in my nature.
It takes, honestly, it's one of those things, like, it's like retraining your brain.
It is.
It takes so much practice.
It is. Like, work has been really hard. There's been a lot of problems coming up, and I had to reframe it. Like, you know what? Like, I work in the wedding industry.
Yeah.
Like, we probably deliver hundreds, if not 1,000 dresses a year. Mm-hmm. So for us to have 20 problems out of that, not that bad.
Pretty good odds.
Not that bad.
Yeah. No, not too
and
bad.
And that helped my partner be like, oh, yeah, I guess that isn't that bad. You're right.
Yeah.
And then she got more positive about it. And I was like, look at me.
Look at us.
Look at me. And like, I'm not loving my post-quarantine bod, but every time I have those thoughts, I think to myself, I'm grateful for this body. It got me through a pandemic healthy.
And we never got COVID.
Never got COVID. So I'm not going to sit here and be angry at my body because it doesn't look or feel the way I want it to feel.
Yeah.
It's healthy and it got me through a pandemic. So she Gucci.
She Gucci.
What's your Aunt Wonderful?
She Fleek.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just thought of it and it just fell out of my brain. Oh, I mean, we already talked about this, but Harry Styles is back on tour, which I know you guys might be like, so what? So someone's on tour. But it's really special.
It's such a source of happiness.
Yeah, I love seeing all people's videos from their experiences at their shows. It's so fun to feel like a part of every single show.
I genuinely get like so happy for people to get to experience him because he's a legend. He's a literal legend.
Yeah, so he played in Vegas, in our world last night, but in your world, he'll already have played a ton of shows. But
2 nights ago in our world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And he was fabulous as usual.
And his little fringy vest. I think shirtless is the new vibe.
Yeah, I'm into this.
Because he keeps doing it. And I'm like, cool. His lady was grooving in the audience. Did you hear the new way they're doing Canyon Moon? It's very peppy.
Oh, I didn't.
It's vibey and it's peppy. I think the new band is like, no, we're going in.
Maybe I'll skip listening to it and I'll wait.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't listening to it. I just watched, like, a TikTok came up with it. And I was like, hold up. Canyon Moon got groovy.
Yes.
It's less like, I loved the pictures of James Corden crying in the audience.
Yes. But I'm really happy with the set list. I think it's going to be really fun. We're going in November. Well,
I'm going this month.
Yeah.
And then we're going in November.
Yeah. You're going in Chicago to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just very exciting. And we love you, Harry Styles.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing joy and smiles.
And thank you for perpetuating the idea of being yourself.
Yeah.
And for treating people with kindness. We love you. Hearts.
Yeah, hearts. Also, our favorite person to got dressed a whole lot this week. So.
Oh, Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he looked amazing.
It's been content overload.
I mean, like, I am like so excited for Dune, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I kind of want to read all the other books. So
great.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I know. Well, why don't you pace yourself?
I mean, I might do it.
Say greenlight the second movie, read the second book.
Yeah, I might.
Oh, no. Well, it's supposed to be the first book.
Yeah.
All in the 2. Yeah.
It's part 2 of Dune.
Sheesh.
But there's like a bunch of books.
Right.
But I might not read all of them, but I think it's like the first 6 are like in the world of Paul Atreides. So like I might stay with that world.
Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And read that. But maybe I'm about to be unemployed in November. Fun employed. So yeah, fun employed for sure. So maybe that'll be a fun thing to do in that spare time.
Sure.
By the pool.
For sure.
If it's warm enough in November. We'll see, I guess.
It'll be warm enough to sit by the pool, but probably not to get in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and what's your song of the week?
My song of the week that I've been jamming to a lot is a song called Disco Man by Remy Wolf.
I don't know that song.
It's a fun little ditty.
Yeah?
It's a fun song. It's really good. I've also been, and I've told B this, but like I've been diving really deep back into the 1975 catalog.
Bless.
So yeah, just to shout them out, I guess. I mean, I think my favorite 1975 song is like everybody's favorite 1975 song.
Somebody else?
Somebody else. Yeah. It's just such a groove. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's really their best song.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
I also really, really love Sincerity is Scary.
Yeah.
The more it comes on, like every time it just comes on, I'm like, yes, this song is so good. And I didn't like it when I first heard it. Because I didn't understand it.
I liked it because I didn't like the 2 songs that came out prior to it. So I was like, okay, this I can groove with.
Yeah.
It was just a nice change from him screaming at me.
Yeah. And a little shout out to one off the new album that I really like is Tonight I Wish I Was Your Boy. I love that song. Anyway, if you haven't done,
I love all there's all the hype that Maddie's saying they're making a classic album with the eye roll emoji.
Yes, please.
So yes, King, please, because the 1975 by the 1975 is the best. I mean, Sleepy Fit. Sorry, we call it Sleepy Fit because I like it when you sleep because you are so beautiful yet so unaware of it. It's too long of a title.
Yes, So sleepy fit it is.
Sleepy fit it is.
But anyway, yeah, I've been falling back into that world again, and I'm really digging it.
You're not sad to be back in that world.
What's your song of the week?
Mine is, well, I kind of have to stay in the 1975 vein, because produced by, and Maddie is background vocals of Please Don't Leave Just Yet by Holly Humberstone.
Oh, so good.
Really, really good. Very 1975 vibes.
All of her music.
And if you are a 1975 fan, you can definitely hear where Maddie is in the song. He's very apparent in it.
Yeah.
He's harmony and he's background vocals and he has little ad-libs in it. And it's fun to hear him. And also the Big Red Machine album came out. Yeah. And Birch with Justin Vernon and Taylor Swift is... I want a whole album of Justin Vernon and Taylor Swift. I can't believe they've never met.
Also...
Their voices are so good together.
Sorry, another one that I just thought of. Skinny Dipped. Banks.
Skinny Dipped Banks, yeah.
So good. We've already talked about Banks. We love Banks.
Yeah, we do love a Banks moment. Like, so yeah, no, good vibes.
Good tunes.
Good tunes.
Oh, we forgot to post last week. I'll post.
It's okay.
I'll do a double tunes.
We'll double tunes. So we should pull.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that thing. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
What'd you pick?
Exorcisms, demons possess.
I picked Lore.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be spoopy.
Spoopy doopy.
Sure is.
Is it our last one before October-a-thon?
I think so.
Is it? I think we need to do away with Pick Jar for October and try and come up with something interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll come up with something. Maybe a Halloween-themed Pick Jar.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Anyway, lots of special things coming in October. We're very excited to share with you.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have an announcement.
Announcement?
We have merch.
We have merch. We're going to sell it already?
Why not?
Okay.
Well, I mean, by the time this...
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. If you go to our website, which is www.howawfulpodcast.com, there's a little bar at the top that says merch, I think it says, or store, one of the two. Yeah. I don't remember what I put it as, but if you click merch or store or whatever it says, buy things. Yeah. You can get yourself a hoodie, some sweatpants, a cool bucket hat.
Yeah, it's our logo and it says, "This is an HR issue."
Yeah, there are shirts that say this is an HR issue.
Later we'll have other merch with other things.
Yeah, we're just, we're doing a beta merch store. So come check us out. Yeah. Get some goodies, celebrate us, tell your friends about us by wearing the shirts or the hoodies or whatever you want to wear.
Rep us.
Yeah.
Rep it hard.
Speaking of all of those things, you can also follow us. I don't know what you're doing.
Rep it good.
You can also follow us on all of the social medias. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. You can search us at How Awful Podcast. Yep. You can also email us at howawfulpodcast@gmail.com and tell us all of the things. I want to know who your favorite powers that be are. I want to know about your hauntings. I want to know about your spoopy times. Yeah. Tell us. We really, really want to do some more listener readings.
We would love to have enough to make it a special episode.
Yeah. Maybe. So please send us your stories. Don't be shy. We would be so excited to read them on the show. You can also join us at patreon.com/howawfulpodcast, where you get some blogs, some videos, and extra tidbits about all the episodes that we post here on the show. So if you want more, join us there. Yeah. But yeah, I think you did it. I think that's all our spiels.
I think you did it.
Thank you guys for listening. We heart shoes.
Who are you?
I'm Tanya Lee.
I'm B.
We didn't introduce ourselves at the beginning
of this episode. You guys should know by now, guys.
Hopefully.
Come on.
And if you've been new here, start at the top and go all the way up.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
I'm sorry that the beginning episodes are a little wonky. But we get here.
See, everybody's pilot is a slow burner. It's fine.
Anyway, thanks for having us in your ears.
We did it. Hey, go. No, guys, I'm a pancake. You're never going to get it. No, you're never going to get it. No.
Is that chocolate?
Oh, yeah, it smells like chocolate. So I'm just like him. Exactly. Hey, you're never going to get it. Go. As always, we've been B and Tanya Lee. Our logo was created by MJ Savard, and our theme music courtesy of Nikki Lou.